Welcome to Dirt Road Believer. I'm Tina and I'm so glad that you're here with me. Let me explain my backdrop today. This past week has been the busiest, the most hectic week of my entire year. It is every year and it has been for 10 years because, as you know, I work with kids in musical theater over the summer, so we practice all summer, but our performances always coincide with back to school. So this is the week where I go back to school, my kids go back to school, we're having dress rehearsal every night, so I literally work all day long, and I'm trying to keep straight in my mind everything that has to be done for the show. So for that reason, there will not be a video today. I have not had time to edit, so we're gonna have a time of devotion, and I do have footage from the shows we did Frozen Junior, and this afternoon at 2, I'm at our venue now, and we're getting ready to do a miniature version with even younger children called Frozen Kids. So I have come to the venue early. I've got some time to myself, and so I brought my camera along because I couldn't wait to share with you today in this time of testimony. I told you last week that we are going to take August to testify, and I hope that I can get other people on this channel to testify as well. But today is testifying about our scars. Back in February, my youngest son was standing behind his brother when he was about to swing a golf club, and when he swung, it hit him right here on the face. And when we went to have the stitches taken out, the doctor said, make sure for the first year he has this scar that when you go out in the sun, you keep sunscreen on it and keep a hat on, or else it's gonna be worse. The scar will be worse. There will be more damage done to it. And so when we accumulate scars in our life, there is a proper time to talk about them. You know, when they're new, we might share them with just a very few people that are helping to guide us and pray for us. But sometimes it takes a long time to work those scars into our public testimony because they're so new and fresh that it could do more damage actually to share them. In John 20, we learn from Jesus about bearing scars. So let's take a look. We're going to start in verse 24 of John 20. It's called Seeing and Believing. Now Thomas, called the twin, one of the 12, was not with them when Jesus came. The other disciples therefore said to him, we have seen the Lord. So he said to them, unless I see in his hands the print of the nails, and put my finger into the print of the nails, and put my hand into his side, I will not believe. And after 8 days, his disciples were there again inside, and Thomas was with them. Jesus came, the doors being shut, and stood in the midst and said, peace to you. Then he said to Thomas, reach your finger here. Look at my hands, and reach your hand here. Put it into my side. Do not be unbelieving, but believing. And Thomas answered and said to him, my Lord, my God. Jesus said to him, Thomas, because you have seen me, you have believed. Blessed are those who have not seen and yet have believed. And, you know, oftentimes we accumulate a scar from life, and our tendency is to hide it, to cover it up. If you've ever been around a child, though, they love to show you their boo-boos and they love to show you their scars. And so that kind of ties back to that childlike faith. We have to have faith enough to believe that when we bear our scars to others, just like Jesus bared his scars to Thomas, that it is a way to help others believe. Those who are in doubt, it will help them believe. It's a lot easier to testify about the goodness of the Lord, the blessings that he's given us, because that glorifies God, and it feels good to tell those things. But when it comes to testifying about our scars, it's a lot harder. And we like to think of our testimony being, for us, in the verse that says, we're made overcomers by the blood of the Lamb and the words of our testimony. But bearing our scars really is more for the benefit of others. When Jesus bared the nail prints in his side to Thomas, it was for Thomas' benefit, not Jesus. And so unselfishly, we have to tell about our scars when it's time. And I accumulated many scars for many years and was it just wasn't time to share it. And it wasn't until last spring when graduation rolled around that, the Holy Spirit said, it's time. Like, you can do this, Tina. I'm giving you permission. And a lot of it had to do with, the age. Those scars were accumulated in the high school years that I went through, or my whole family went through with my daughter. And she was a child then. And so as a mother, you want to protect. And so now she's an adult. But that article that I wrote was called There Should Have Been 90. And it alluded to her graduating class had 89 kids in it. And there should have been 90 because she should have been there. Her whole childhood, was happy, and we had a home that was loving. And when she hit 9th grade, it was like our whole household was just thrown into a tailspin. And I lost count, honestly, of the times that she ran away or was in a treatment facility, or, we even were counseled to, maybe she should live with a family member and let them, help raise her. Maybe that'll help. We honestly tried everything. And I once wrote a song about her. It's, I think it's called The Prodigal, but in it says, one of the lines is, eating from a pig pen when there's a banquet for you. And really, she chose the things of the world, the things that will never satisfy her. And in the process, the family paid a lot of the price. She's paying a price too, but the scars that were, just felt like they were cut into us are finally beginning to heal. And you look back when you're being wounded, and you think, only the good Lord could have gotten me through that. Because not only were we dealing with the therapist and the law and all the other things that came along with her choices, we also had 3 younger children in the home too. And so the Lord kept speaking over me, you still have other children. You've got to have joy. You've got to have some semblance of peace, even though our world was being rocked in a major way for successive years. And the first time that my daughter ran away, it was my youngest son's birthday. And that was such a day that I can remember, because it kind of defined how I handled the rest of the turmoil, the years of turmoil that we spent. Because, it was his birthday, but yet my daughter's missing. Where is she? So obviously the priority was find her and locate her. So we found her, we located her, I assessed the situation, and then my mind turned back to, this is my child. I'm like, it's his birthday. We are gonna do something. And so I made sure she was safe. She was with her dad. And then I took my youngest son out and we celebrated his birthday. And when I got back, that's when we called the crisis hotline, and through the night, we dealt with what we had to deal with. But I say that to tell you that God was so good all the way through, and he kept giving gifts like that. He kept saying, Tina, even though all this is going on, I'm here, and we're gonna maintain this joy, and we're not going to I'm not going to suck the life out of you because of this, because you have other people that are looking to you. So, scars are hard. But here's the cool thing about scars. Scars grow back stronger. When you're wounded, when you're cut, they hurt, they gape, they're tender, but when they grow back, when you've tended them and you've let Jesus help you tend them, they grow back even stronger. That skin is thicker, it is tougher, it is harder to penetrate than it was before. And so I can just see God in the stitching and Jesus just with his grace and with his mercy just sealing up those wounds and helping me learn from them. If you are wondering what's the deal with your daughter now, I don't know. She is a grown-up and she has turned away from her family. And so I don't really know, but I do know that God promises to be faithful. And so I ask that you join me in that prayer for my daughter, that just like the prodigal, she will have enough of eating from the pig pen and she will come back. And I also pray for a prodigal father's heart, that when that day happens, I can rejoice and celebrate and not have any bitterness or resentment towards her. So guys, that's what bearing your scars is all about. When it's time, God will lead you. Jesus will walk you through it. But scars are just as much a part of our testimony as any other part of our testimony. Our testimony is everything. It's the good, it's the bad, it's the blessings, it's the breaking, it's all of it. And he uses all of it to help others believe and to help us overcome in this life and to persevere. So guys, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. I'm looking forward to putting together this footage from Frozen and letting you enjoy that next week. But today, just bearing our scars, just bearing our scars together. Guys, I hope you remember that I pray for each one of you. If you are watching this channel, I may not know your name, but I can pray for you, and God knows exactly who you are, exactly what your circumstances are, and exactly what scars you have to bear to others to help them believe. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. I'm hoping my cast breaks a leg today on stage, but not literally. And I will see you next week. Until then, slow down. Take the dirt road, believer.